Now, I know trading reaches a point where you feel like giving up, but don't give up because the only time you fail is when you give up. Now, in this video, I'm going to just take you through like my journey as a trader from working as a fuel attendant at the petrol station to now becoming a full-time trader and also a mentor across the whole world. So, when I started trading, it was back in 2019. I remember I was working as a fuel attendant at the petrol station. So I was working with Shell Uganda, but I was working as a fuel attendant, right? But did that stop me from becoming a profitable trader? No. But did I become a profitable trader very fast? Not really. You know that this skill is so hard to master and it is it's one of the hardest skills and one of the hardest paths that you as a trader is going to take. But trust me on this. When you take this path, there is no going back. It is worth it in the end. The reason why many traders fail is that they rush the process trying to get quick returns, and in that process, that is where everything goes wrong, right? Now I'm a good trader now, yes, but it wasn't always like this, right? Imagine balancing working as a fuel attendant. You're always busy, you don't have time, but trying at the same point, trying your level best to become a good trader, mastering this craft. So what I would do most of the times, I would try by all means during the night shift I could be able to get some breathing space, because when you're fueling cars, they are not coming in randomly, right? At some point they're going to reduce, there are going to be one or two cars coming in. So that is where I got the opportunity to say that during the day, if I'm working, I'm going to make sure that at night, even if I'm working night shift, I'm going to make sure that I get some time, like an hour, I learn something about trading, right? Now, the reason why traders fail is because they want to be pampered. But for me now, I knew that this is my time to learn this skill. I will not bring up any excuse that will sabotage my profitability as a trader, right? I started with even less than $10 because for me, I didn't have that big capital to be able to make that big money, right? But at least I knew that if I can start small, I'll be able to grow to those big numbers, because this is a business of numbers, right? So, how did I become good at this craft? I didn't become good overnight. Rather, I didn't become good very fast, but at least with time, I knew that this skill is going to pay off. It's just a matter of correcting the errors, correcting the mistakes. So during the night shift, I would sit down and say, I would even trade what you call the Asian session, that is the Tokyo and the Sydney session, because during the day I would be busy. You know, when you're working a job, you're always busy, you don't have time to check on the chart. So I would put myself in a position where I make sure that whatever is going to happen, at least I'm prepared for it, right? I'm prepared to know that if I'm to wake up early, if it means that I have to wake up early, I will definitely wake up early, because that moment, that is why you grow as a trader. Because I know that if it becomes a consistent habit, those trades that are going to come at night, I will not miss them, right? 3 a.m. mornings, 4 a.m. mornings, and guess what? I'll take a trade. If it is a good trade, let's say around 4 a.m. in the morning, I have to be up by around 6 so that I can prepare to go to work, right? So that is when I'm not working night shift, right? And when I'm working night shift, I have to get time to, build all the charts. I have to learn this and this. So I had a mentor, yes, they could put us in a group, and the guy was actually living in Dubai. So he could just put us in a group. That's why I hate group coaching, because you don't get that value where you want to ask questions. You just say, I've understood like the rest, and you don't even get a lot of value, right? But I could say I'm not going to bring up any excuse. I'm just going to do what? Put in the work, because I know that the work that I'm avoiding is what is limiting me to becoming a profitable trader, right? If I do the work, I'm going to do what? I'm going to become that good trader. So what did I do? I made sure that every night, at least, let me do what? Let me be that trader who's going to at least do something productive. If I have to read, if I have to watch a YouTube video, if I have to watch a YouTube tutorial, let me do it at least, right? So profitability didn't come from luck. It came from constant execution. It came from reviewing the mistakes that I was making. It came as a result of being patient, knowing that good things are going to take time, right? I had the job, first of all. That means that my bills were being paid, right? So a lot of traders have this issue. They want to become a full-time trader, but without having disposable cash, which is going to be there to help them pay rent, pay other dues, and many other things. Because stop loss doesn't care if you have money. The rent doesn't care if you have hit stop loss, right? So you need to be this trader who understands that if I'm to become a full-time trader, at least let me have some savings up, or let me get a side job which is going to be covering up the bills, the small things, and then in that process you have that breathing room to be able to take good setups without having issues. By the way, that is where you find traders now trying to enter full margin trading. They try to make everything work at once, and in that process they lose everything, because one mistake could lead to emotional breakdown, and then you're like, you know what, let me just risk everything. And that is where we all go wrong as traders, right? So I did not become a good trader overnight, but I tried my level best, because I can tell you my journey is no different from other people. But the reason why others fail and then some of us reach that point is because we don't give up, and we are students of the market. We don't fail. We always try by our level best to learn. If I make a mistake, let's say for example today, let's say I over leveraged, and then in that process I blew the account, right? I do not want to repeat that same mistake, because I know it is always going to haunt me. It is going to haunt me always, and then in that process I'm losing everything, right? So when I tell you all this, I'm not bragging or I'm not showing off. I'm trying to show you that it is possible. The possibility is only going to come if you learn and review, if you stop making those mistakes, right? So be that trader who's going to make sure that at least I'm learning from the mistake that I've made, and I'm correcting it so that I don't repeat it in the future, right? If I'm risking, I have to know every trade that I'm going to take. I make sure that I know the risk that is involved. Am I comfortable losing that amount of money? If I'm comfortable, then I'll take the trade. If I'm not comfortable, I'd rather leave the trade, because I know that the forex market is like an ocean, because an ocean is full of many opportunities. There is a lot of fish in the ocean, there is a lot of fish in the sea. Opportunities are always going to be showing up. They might hit stop loss at some point, but they the good ones are also going to come. Another thing that made me good at trading is that I did not see losses as a bad thing, because you need to, before you even start trading, you need to ask yourself, what kind of business model am I entering into, right? Because the business model itself shows you that it is a business of probabilities, right? It is something where you're going to lose money, it is something where you're going to make money, right? So in that process now, your mind changes, the mindset changes, because you now know that I have to lose money in order to make money, or there are days where I'm not going to make money, there are days where I'm going to lose money, and you have to be comfortable with that, right? So it's more like you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is the only way you are going to become a good trader. That is the only way losses are not going to bother you. So once you enter the market now, I'll give you an example. For example, me, if I'm going to enter the market, I'll ask myself now, how much am I losing on this trade? Before I even take the trade, I'm like, okay, I have a trading opportunity, I have a trade setup. How much am I losing on this trade? So if I'm like, okay, if I take this trade, my stop loss is going to be less $1,000, and my initial risk was like, my plan is like, let me risk $500, right? That means that I won't be comfortable taking that trade, right? Either I size down the lot size or I leave the trade, right? So you prepare for the worst. Even when the good comes, it finds you when you're prepared. Even when the bad comes, you are not surprised. The reason why traders blow accounts is because when they don't plan before they take trades, and then the account blows, they will be surprised. They're like, okay, wow, money has gone, right? I don't want you to be that trader. I want you to be the trader who's going to say, you know what, sit down, make this money, but in this making of the money, understand that there is risk involved, but also money is there, right? How did I come now to quit and become a full-time trader? Remember, I was working as a fuel attendant, and in that process I was able to raise some money in my small savings. I purchased a big account, and the big account is what brought in everything that I've built so far, because that account, it was a $200,000 account, and it was a funded account. I got a payout, and that payout literally changed everything for me. So in that process, it shows you that don't trash the process. Don't try to be that trader who's going to do what, who's going to make $1,000 today, and then you feel like, I can leave my job, I can do every. No, I want you to be that trader who's going to say, okay, if I can make $1,000, I can make 10,000 more, right? Let quitting of the job come as a byproduct of your profits that are compounding, right? So me quitting my job, I only quit the moment I had about, at least it was about $7,000 in savings, knowing that this could feed me for a whole year as I perfect my trading skill, as I make it work for me, right? So don't quit your job to become a full-time trader. You can trade even when you're working, because I did it and I know you can also do it. And trust me, the money that we are always looking for is there in the markets, but it doesn't want you to rush. It doesn't want you to become greedy. It wants you to be that trader who's going to say, you know what, I know money is there, but I don't have to rush for the money, right? So be this trader who's going to say, now, if I've planned everything, let me follow the rules. You need to set up, you need to build rules. If it's a stop loss, it's a stop loss. If it's a take profit, it's a take profit. Don't go out of the trade. Don't jump around, because it is going to mess up your risk and reward. Because I'm a trader and I hit stop losses all the time. Not all the time though, but at least most of the trades will hit stop loss, and that's the harsh reality of the markets. There's no like 100% win rate. Even if it is 80%, those 20% losses are going to cost you, right? So I want you to look at trading like this. If I hit stop loss, let me not feel bad, right? But I don't want to jump out of the trade, or I don't want to modify my stop loss just because I want to make more money. It won't make sense, honestly, right? And that is the brutal reality about trading. You have to be able to understand that money is there, but money is not for the weak. This is the hardest way to make the easiest money, because it's the business of numbers. A trader will make $10 today. Another trader the same day is going to make $1,000. Another trader is going to make $100,000. That is how the business works. Another one is going to make $1 million on that, on just one trade. So it's a business of capital and skill. So one thing I try my level best to tell you that small accounts are not going to make you that aha money that you're looking for, because that's why you find now you can't wait to get a bigger account, and in that process you're like, let me, on my small account, let me try to turn it into bigger accounts, right? So whatever I'm teaching you today and my story is trying to show you that things are there, money is real in trading, but it is going to take some sort of time. And if you're not ready for that, trust me, trading is going to become difficult for you. Trading is going to be that business where you see like other people say trading is gambling, of which trading is not gambling, because we are dealing with currencies of different countries. It can never be gambling. I want you to take your time and do a self-reflection. Ask yourself, what have I been doing wrong? If this guy could do it, just a random guy on the internet, I can also do it. But I did not do it out of luck. Imagine I passed an account in 3 months, the funded account. I passed it after 3 months. Imagine 3 months not getting paid. On the fourth month, you make like money for like the whole year. That is how trading is, and you shouldn't compare with yourself with someone who's having a job, someone who's working. Either you get a job or you save up some money so that you can be able to fund your trading business, right? So look at trading like a business, because if you have a hardware and then you have little goods, people are not going to purchase from you. But if you put in money and you build a big hardware, you will be able to have customers who are very potential, who are having very high potential to buy from you. You will make profits, right? So the bigger the accounts that you have, the bigger the capital that you're going to raise, and the bigger the money that you're likely to make, and small losses, realistic, reasonable losses, right? I'm not different from you, brother. I know you can do this. Trust me, if you keep pushing, if I could do it, you can also do it. And I'm always watching from afar. I'm rooting for you.